What is happening, guys? Today we're going to be going from this wheel to this wheel. That looks good. What is happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another vlog. I hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend, week. I don't really know what day. I was gonna wait until next week to make this video, but I was so excited when I got this that I just gotta put it in now. You know how sometimes when you get one of those mods and you're like, I'm gonna wait to put it in, but then you get it and you're like, oh my God, I'm so excited to put it in the car. I just gotta do it. You get the point. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to put this in the car, you guys. It is super clean. So this is a custom wheel made by AZA Auto Wheel. I think that's how you say it. But they do custom BMW wheels, and I decided to go with the all black leather. I wanted a super clean one. I didn't want to do the Alcantara. I'm not a huge fan of Alcantara on these cars. I just don't really love how dirty they get and like how hard they are to keep clean. So I decided to do all leather. Keep it super clean. Everything in the car right now is leather, so I just decided to continue with that theme, but I basically got the grips on the side, and so everything's a little bit thicker. It's got the flat bottom, and then it's got the M stitching all around. So it's got the red and the blue all around there. I actually didn't even expect it to come with this centerpiece, but they gave me a brand new, all black, really well made wheel. Like, this thing is, I'm blown away. And especially for the price, I'll tell you guys exactly what I paid, but I'm absolutely blown away by how good this looks. And then also, I got these actually on eBay. I wanted really simple, like going with the same theme. I wanted something very simple for my paddle shifters. The ones I have in there right now, I do not like. I'm just not a big fan of them. These ones are clean, man. They're not too big. The one thing that I'm not a big fan of when people are modding like steering wheels and putting in aftermarket paddle shifters is they get these ones that look like a pterodactyl lives behind the steering wheel. They're just huge. Like, they stick out way too large and they just look ridiculous. I knew that I wanted some that were black, but nothing that stood out like too much. And I think that these are honestly like the perfect ones. So I can't really tell you who makes them. I don't really know the brand name, but these are super clean. I like them. They're really simple, and they're just a little bit larger than stock. They're not too big. I think that they're gonna go really well with the steering wheel and everything I have going on in the interior. So this is the first interior mod that we're doing, an interior add-on that we're doing to the M3, and I'm really excited, you guys. The stock steering wheel is just kind of in bad shape, and I mean, this just looks way better with the flat bottom and everything we have going on. Man, I love this wheel. So clean. All right, so we're gonna head out to the garage. I'm gonna show you guys how to install this. We gotta take out the airbag, disconnect the battery, do all that fun stuff. Take off the steering wheel and put in the new one. I will guide you guys through the entire process. For this new wheel, I believe it was about $600, I wanted to say, which all things considered, considering this is a brand new wheel from scratch, I customized it myself. I could have done any colors, Alcantara, shift lights, all that stuff. Obviously the shift lights would be more. If you want to do like carbon, that would be more. I don't know if it's more for Alcantara, but the fact that I just wanted clean, simple leather for a brand new wheel the way I wanted it for $600, shipped, good deal. I'm totally okay with that. It took a little bit of time, took about a month for them to get the wheel to me, which isn't so bad. I don't think that 30 days is unreasonable, but just be forewarned, if you are going to order this wheel, it takes a little bit of time to get to you. Let's head out to the garage, get in the car. I gotta grab a coffee first because I'm kind of tired, and then we're gonna throw in the wheel. We're gonna throw in the wheel. So here's the stock wheel. I mean, it's pretty clean. All things considered, the age of the car, 70,000 miles on the car, it's a clean wheel. If you guys remember when I did that red M button and the red start stop button, I actually repainted this trim to a satin black, which turned out really good, if I might say so myself. My little DIY turned out all right, but that new wheel is going to be a game changer just when it comes to the actual driving experience, and I'm not a big fan of these paddles. I don't really like the way they feel either, so I'm interested to see how the new ones actually feel when I have them on the car. Anyways, grab that coffee, and then we'll be back in the garage to make this install happen. Lifeline increased. Let's head home and get this wheel on. All right, in the garage. All right, so what we want to do to take off this steering wheel is first we want to disconnect the battery. It's a 10mm nut, pull that off, disconnect the battery. That way the airbag isn't going to deploy in your face while you are doing this. Basically, we have to take out the airbag, which is similar to how we did it on the baseline F-Series. There's two little slits. You see that slit right there. Those little slits, you slide a screwdriver into that and you actually pop out the spring, which releases the airbag on each side. And then in the center, there is a nut that we have to get at. I'll let you know what size it is once I get in there. And then from there, we pull the whole wheel off. And then we have to disassemble this wheel, put all the electronics onto the new wheel, and reinstall it. All right, so I'm not gonna lie to any of you, this part sucks. It's the same deal with the baseline F-Series wheel. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get off, but this is the screwdriver I use. All right, so we got it out. I'm gonna show you how I did it. All right, so what you're doing, you're taking the screwdriver, right? And you actually wanna put it in like that. You want it to be faced like that. You're gonna find that slit on the side. If you look in there, you see it, right? And if you look up here, see that little spring? We're pushing that in. So that's all you're doing. You're literally going in like that far, like an inch. So you're just sliding it through that hole till you hit the spring, press it in, pull out. These little clips right here, the way that you get these out is you just lift up that little black piece on the back. Same with this one, you lift up that little black piece up here on the top, and then they just come right out. They are color coded, so you'll know exactly which way they go in when you put the airbag back in. Next step, we need to take out the bolt, the actual bolt in here. I believe we're gonna need to take out these connections as well. All right, so I just popped all of the connections out of here, that one and that one. I'm pretty sure we're gonna need to take those out. This bolt right here is a 16mm. It is going to be tough to get off. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be pretty hard to get off. What I like to do is hold it with my knees, get the actual socket wrench on it, and then just crank it, and you should be able to crack it loose. All right, so this is what we had to do. 16mm breaker bar. You are going to need a breaker bar or like a really long socket wrench. That thing is on there. All right, so once you actually break it, you can just remove it by hand. This little guy. So a little bit of an important note. See that slit? See how it lines up with that? That's how you're gonna know how to put it back on straight. So you can see that they just line up perfectly right there. So we just disconnected all these, and it should be as simple as just pulling it right off. Bada boom. All right, so now we have to take this apart. Make sure while it's off that you don't spin anything. You don't want to touch any of this. You want to make sure that when you put this back on, everything lines up perfectly and you don't spin any of the coils in here, or you can damage something or break something. So let's go ahead and disassemble this wheel, transfer everything over to the new wheel, and then we will reinstall it. All right, so here they are side by side. Look at how much thicker that new one is than the old one. Jeez, that looks nice. I also like that the new one is like more of a matte, like a satin finish versus this like shiny leather. Not totally into the super shiny leather. I think this looks so good. All right, so let's work on all of the electronics and stuff, transfer everything over. It looks like everything in here, this little cable, all the electronics, these side pieces, the paddles, that all needs to come off and put it on that one. All right, so it looks like there are two little Torx bolts on the back. One is right in here, and then obviously the other one on that other side. They are T20s. Oh no, there's one more. Three Torx. Then this all should just pop right out though. And these little brown cables connect to the paddles, so we want to disconnect those. All right, so once you get those clips out, we are going to be taking out all of these, obviously, to put them in the new wheel. I'll set that aside for right now. Let's go ahead and get the rest of the guts out of here. So for the two paddles, you have a couple of T20s right here, and then one on the other side. These two little guys holding the paddles. Should be able to just pull that out. Yep, so here's that. So we're gonna actually have to remove all of this in order to put in the new paddles. And then these internals, looks like we have a tiny Torx right here that is like a ground. And then we have another ground over here that is like crimped or something. Oh yeah, okay. So that one just slides off like that. It goes on this little metal flange right there. So this tiny little ground in here is a T10. Get that off. All right, so that removes this whole little wire assembly. And then that is everything in this wheel. And so to remove these electronics, you're just gonna use the same T20. This is still in really nice shape after I painted it, so Definitely gonna hold on to the stock wheel just in case I sell this car someday. That's why I don't get rid of your stock stuff, you guys. All right, so for this next part, I literally have no idea how to take this off. I didn't look it up or anything. I'm just gonna try and figure it out. So looking at this whole assembly, I have a clip in here. I have a couple of clips up here and one down here. I think what we have to do is take this off. I'm gonna go ahead and remove these little clips. Let's see what's inside. So what I'm thinking is that these clips, you take them off up here, and it looks like there's some sort of pin. See that gold pin? I think that pin is actually holding it in. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove these clips for this top part. I think the way to do it is this is just a pivot pin, so all we wanna do is pop it out that way. It's got the fatter head on this side and skinny guy over here. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and give it a little push. Yep, there it goes. It starts sliding out. So as you can see, it's now got that little head on it up there. Bam, just like that. All right, so once you remove that whole assembly, this little guy in here is a T10. Bam, freeze it up. So I'm just gonna leave that on there so I know the orientation of how it should go. Let's grab the new one, old one, new one, take that off. Pop on the new guy. And we'll go ahead and put that T10 back in there. There's a little ball on top. Be careful, you don't want that to get lost or drop. So now we're gonna put that right back in there. Slide it, line it back up with a hole, just like that. And we can go ahead and put our push pin back in from the top, just like so. And then we just wanna go ahead and put the little plastic pieces back on that we took off. And then lastly, we're just gonna put the backing on. Looks good, feels good. That one's done. Same deal with the other side. All right, so we have the paddles ready. Let's go ahead and reassemble everything into the new wheel. I thought it was painted. This whole piece is wrapped in leather. That is so clean. Wow, that is impressive. So here's my old one that's painted. You can see it's kind of wearing a little bit, and then the leather one. So clean. All right, so we have that off. Let's go ahead and put the paddles back on. Ooh, those feel nice. Those feel nice. I like that. Wow. Now let's go ahead and put the electronics back on here. They look really clean with the leather surrounding. Got everything ran in here. There's like a little wire canal down here. Just run all that through there. Now we can work on everything on the inside of here. So we're gonna start with this little 10, this Torx T10 right here. And it's going to ground. I mean, you guys will know when you take off the old one, it ground right into that little guy. So that's how I have that positioned. You have this ground right here. Well, you guys saw when I took it off, it goes on this little metal bracket right here. So you're just gonna slide that on there. And I think we're good. I think we're good. All right, so now we can put these back on. Dude, this wheel looks so sick. I'm in love with this new wheel. Oh, I'm in love with it. Looks so good. Looks so good. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but this is super clean. The black paddles with the all leather. And then we have the M stitching around it. I mean, dude, it's just so simple and so clean. I love that this is leather. I had no idea that they were wrapping this in leather, but I think that looks really good. It just looks so much higher quality than the actual painted ones that come stock in the cars. Super happy with how clean this is. It's a great, great wheel. All right, so let's go ahead and put this in the car. All right, I decided I didn't want to get berated in the comments today. The torque specs for the steering wheel are going to be 63 Newton meters, which is 46 foot-pounds of torque. Let's go ahead and get this new wheel on. Remember what I told you guys about lining it up? Just make sure that those slits are lined up perfectly when you pop it back on here. Plug this guy back in there. Plug this one back in here. I also make sure that I tuck all these wires on the side. What you want to make sure is no wires are down in here, because when you take the wheel off, you obviously don't want your screwdriver to hit any wires. So just always make sure that there's no wires near these little canals. I think it's airbag time. Plug these two in, pop it in. That looks so clean, bro. Super, super clean. Wow. It feels so good. It just feels so good. These paddles feel really nice too. Man, What do you guys think? Comment down below, tell me what you think right now. Is this just like the move or what? Or what? I mean, I don't know, dude. Looks pretty sick to me. I love that it's thicker than the stock wheel. I love these grips on the side. Super dope. Flat bottom, clean. I love that this is leather. Man, I don't know. I think I picked the right one, you guys. Tell me what you think. Is it the move? Is it clean? You like it? Obviously we have the M stitching, which I was on the fence about the M stitching. But I had it on my stock wheel, so I was like, okay, it's not like over the top. It's clean, it's very minimal, and it obviously matches my little guy down here, so decided to keep with the M stitching. The other option was to just keep it black and just do like a all murdered out wheel. But dude, this looks good. All right, I'm gonna fire up the car and make sure the paddles work and all the buttons are good, and then we're Gucci. All right, good news, we got that done. Bad news, it's pitch black out, so you guys aren't gonna see anything, but
Watson Insurance, sit down with you one-on-one.
Shut your ass up. Yeah, this wheel's dope. Well, it's pitch black and you guys can't really see much, but oh, dude, it feels so nice. Wow. I forgot how big of a change it is when you get a new steering wheel. Like when I did the F30 and I got the M Sport wheel, it made such a big difference just in the experience of driving the car, and I'm feeling it with this. These grips on the side, these are really nice. I like them. They're like super functional. Your thumb just like slides right in there. It's super nice. I love it. All the buttons work. Everything's good. Paddles work. Man, we are in great shape. Yeah, man. Feels really good. I love the flat bottom too. It's cool. Way different vibe when you're driving the car with a new wheel. I really, really like it. All right, back from a little drive, and I have to say I absolutely love this wheel. I'm really, really happy with it. A new wheel just adds so much to the experience of driving your car. Obviously in the E series M3s, the stock wheels aren't terrible, but this is a huge, huge upgrade from what I had. Just the flat bottom with these cutouts, the new paddles, the thicker leather, it just feels like a whole new car when you're driving it. The experience is just way different. Like I said before, you guys, I paid $600, right around there, and shipping was free, and it took about a month. I'll link their Instagram down below, the company that sold it to me. It's AZA Auto Wheel. And if you guys are interested in a wheel, just DM them. That's how I placed my order. And everything was customizable. So after 2 weeks of placing the order, they showed me an actual picture of my wheel set, ready to go. And then once I approved that, they shipped it out to me. And I've got to say, it's way better than I expected. Like I said before, I wasn't expecting this piece to be leather. And just the overall feeling of it, how the quality of it is really, really good. For the paddles, I bought those separately. I will link the paddles down below as well. Those were off of eBay. And I really like the paddles because they're not monstrous. Like, they're not just ginormous. And I see some paddles that look like freaking pterodactyls coming out of here. They just look silly. Like, paddles up to here just look so stupid on these cars. I think these ones are super clean. They're like just a little bit bigger than the OEM ones, and they have that little cutout. I love them. They're perfect. I didn't want to do like a colored one. I think that's kind of tacky in these cars. I was either just going to do silver, like the stock ones, or black, and I'm glad I went with the black. That's like the theme that I have going on with this car, the black and white. I think it just works with it. This wheel has the M stitching, so it's got the red and the blue all around it on the inside. And then obviously I had the leather. So you can do anything. You guys can customize it with like carbon in here. You can do the shift lights if you want. I think it's like way more expensive for the shift lights. That's why I didn't do it. And then also you can do the Alcantara. I'm just not a huge fan of the Alcantara because it gets dirty really easily. And your boy is like super OCD, so there's no reason for me to have Alcantara. I'd be trying to clean it all the time, and I don't want to deal with that. I like the leather. I think it's consistent with everything else in this car. This car has leather like all over it, so it just makes sense to have leather on the wheel. I think that's like the most OE plus approach. So yeah, man, I'm super happy with this. This was really all I wanted for the interior. I am thinking about doing some seats, some Recaro seats, but other than that, this interior is sick, and I absolutely love this car the way it's set up as is. I really don't see myself doing too much further to the interior. All right, you guys, that is gonna be it for today's video. I'm gonna do some future point of view, like chat and chill drives with this car, with like the new wheel and everything, so you guys can kind of get a feel and experience it with me behind the wheel during the day. Obviously at night it's kind of hard for me. I have to edit this video and it's got to go up tomorrow. It's nighttime, can't really see anything when I'm driving, but just take my word for it. It's fantastic. I absolutely love the wheel. Hopefully you guys learned something today on that whole tutorial and how to take the old one out and put in the new one, all the buttons, the electronics, the paddles, the whole thing. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you did, make sure you smash the like button. Comment down below. Tell me what you enjoyed about this whole process. Do you like this wheel? Would you get something like this? Would you do Alcantara? What would be your actual setup? Comment down below. Make sure you guys subscribe if you like the video. Make sure you follow me, like me on Facebook. Just like that, this video is over and I'm out. Peace.